Okay, welcome to the ProBrick exclusive YouTube channel. We're going to look at disorganized attachment in narcissists because cluster B milkshake is a diagnosed female narcissist. Let's do it.
Hello everyone, welcome back to Cluster B Milkshake. I am your host along with support puppet, Mr. Chicken. Yeah. Today we are going to talk about attachment styles, and the one that I relate to the most is disorganized attachment. I came across this really cool article that explains all the nooks and crannies about what's going on inside. The article is from the Attachment Project, and I will link it in the comments. So, it starts off. All you need to know about disorganized attachment. Not the most, I'm thinking the most awful. Okay. The most difficult type of insecure attachment is the disorganized attachment style. It is often seen in people who have been physically, verbally, or sexually abused in their childhood. A disorganized, fearful, avoidant attachment style develops when the child's caregivers, the only source of safety, becomes a source of fear. In adulthood, people with this attachment style are extremely inconsistent in their behavior and have a hard time trusting others. Yes. Such individuals could also...
And this can be a problem because if you're trying to have a relationship with somebody that doesn't trust you, right, and I've seen this and experienced it, it's too hard. You're constantly trying to prove yourself, you're constantly trying to impress this person, and you're dealing with something that's absolutely got nothing to do with who you are.
Suffer from other mental health issues, yes, such as substance abuse, depression, or borderline personality disorder.
And substance abuse will bring depression and borderline personality disorder.
Since they demonize narcissists and they don't know what narcissism is, the struggles on the inside, of course they're not going to put that, but all cluster Bs, I believe, can relate to this. If there's any of you out there, tell me. This attachment style can be changed with proper treatment, although the process might be challenging. No shit. For starters, how does attachment form in early childhood? As soon as a baby is born, he or she starts bonding with his or her caregivers, usually parents. For the first few years, the baby is entirely dependent on them. Oh, no shit. If they are sensitive towards and attuned to these needs, the child builds a secure attachment with the caregivers, whose presence equals safety. That must be nice. That must be nice. In some cases, however, the child perceives that his or her needs are not met and that the caregivers are not emotionally available or responsive when the child seeks their attention, affection, support. As a result, the child is unable to form a secure bond. The problem with insecure attachment during childhood is that it often cannot be left behind. It does not simply go away over time with growing up. Early attachment experiences do shape attachment styles. So the way we experience our first social bonds with caregivers will determine the way we view and behave in relationships in the future. So know this. When you are getting to know somebody for the first time and they're talking about their childhood trauma, this is what you're going to be in for. Okay?
Yep.
You don't get to listen to me speak to you now and you claim unawareness ever again. Okay. Anxious attachment style. For example, if a child perceives the parent is unpredictable or neglecting, the child might become overly clingy and needy. In other words, the child lacks attention and starts working harder to get it. Later on in life, this child, now a teenager or adult, continues to question whether they're good enough, lovable, or worthy. Such individuals can develop low self-esteem and need constant reassurance from their parents. This is known as anxious attachment style, which is characterized by a strong fear of abandonment and rejection. Woo! Now here comes avoidant attachment style.
And what also happens is they begin to self-prophesy the end of the relationship and start to do things that signal a reverse discard. They start to do things that make the partner head towards a reverse discard. In other words, they move the partner to cause a breakup out of
If
their
the child
insecurity.
perceives that their emotional needs are rejected by the parent, the child stops expecting any response from their parents. Thus, the child learns that they should not express emotions openly or seek support because they're not going to receive it.
I think we've all had some of
As
that.
time goes by, such children, now grown up, become self-sufficient and independent.
Yep.
Other people will reject their emotions anyway, so why bother trying to express them? This is the strategy behind avoidant attachment style. Yes. So I resonated with both of those. And I'm like, well, fuck. What the fuck is disorganized then? Because, if I have both of those things. And I looked it up. Disorganized attachment style. We see that there is a sort of continuity, and coherence. Jesus fuck. In each of the two attachment styles described above. What makes the disorganized, fearful, avoidant attachment style different is that it applies to lack of coherence in the individual's social behavior. Yes, we don't know what the fuck is going on up here. All right? Most attachment specialists believe that the disorganized attachment style is the most difficult, of the three insecure attachment styles to treat because it incorporates both the anxious and avoidant. What causes disorganized attachment in children? The disorganized attachment style is believed to be consequence of childhood trauma or abuse. Perceived fear is the central aspect of this development. The survival of the infant child depends on the caregivers. The child knows that subconsciously. So he or she seeks safety in the caregivers. A problem arises when the source of safety becomes a source of fear. So if you didn't know what you were going to get from moment to moment, day to day from your original caregiver, you are going to be living in this bubble of fear. If the caregivers show highly contrasting behavior, which is inconsistent and unpredictable, the child can start fearing his or her own safety. The child doesn't know what to expect, nor does the child know when the caregiver will meet their needs, if at all. For instance, the caregiver abuses the child verbally, physically, or sexually, or the child witnesses the caregiver abuse someone else. Either way, the child no longer trusts the caregiver. The child realizes that they cannot rely on caregivers to meet their physical or emotional needs. The
And in some instances, these people become the abusers as well.
caregivers who should be acting as a source of safety are not only unreliable, but they are also causing fear. Yes. Children with disorganized attachment styles are not able to truly adapt to the caregiver's behavior as they never know what's coming next. Such children lack coherence in their own behavior towards the caregivers. They might seek closeness, but at the same time reject the caregiver's proximity and distance themselves due to fear. You'll see a lot of us doing this also as adults, no contacting our parents, right? Because we're just tired of it. What do relationships in disorganized adults look like? Adults with disorganized attachment styles in relationships lack a coherent approach. On the one hand, they want to belong. They want to love and be loved. Yes.
Yeah.
So all you people out there, like they just coming to use and abuse, and they know what they're doing. I'm telling you, man, in the beginning of the relationship, long-term relationships, we want to love you, and we want to be loved. Okay? While on the other hand,
Same
they
as
are
anybody
afraid
else.
to let anyone in. They have a strong fear that the people who are closest to them will hurt them. Yes, this caused major fucking problems in my last
No, that's not true fully, because they attach to their children.
relationship because I was too scared to open up. I would say like there's this barrier here. I couldn't even let myself fall into this safety love space with my partner. Adults with a disorganized attachment style fear intimacy and avoid proximity, similar to individuals with avoidant attachment style. The main difference
I've never had a woman that's feared intimacy ever, not one.
for disorganized adults is that they want relationships. Yes.
But a lot of them don't navigate the relationship properly, and they lose it.
These adults expect and are waiting for the rejection, disappointment, and hurt to come.
See, they self-prophesy. They self-prophesy the end of the relationship. And that's not fair on the other person who's trying to damn well be normal. We'll leave that one there. We'll do a second part on this. This is Reverend Dr. Jason W. Morrison on the ProBrick exclusive YouTube channel. See you on the next one.